the gym stalker that I warned him about. So my dad is obviously very freaked out, and he's like, oh my god, like that guy seemed very nice, like that is so weird. So the next day when I went to the gym again, guess who came up to me? The gym stalker, aka Creep. And Creep comes up to me and was like, oh, who were you with yesterday? Was that your dad? And obviously I'm like, yeah, like whatever, laughing it off, trying to be like, get the heck away from me. Like, you would think that this creep had some decency, especially being a dad, to not do this. What's that song by Lana Del Rey? Come on, you know.
For these videos was to get a hint of fame. You know how people make those accounts, those secret accounts, and try to blow up on them? That's exactly what she did, yet she used me, her best friend, to slander for fame. As I was looking through these, I'm not kidding you, my heart dropped and I started bawling. I was so confused on what this was even for. I was so confused because there was nothing going on at all. The entire time she was secretly having an account locked.
Boyfriend. So like I said, obviously we could hear stuff. We saw their clothes on the floor, so I took a video and I took a picture. But obviously you couldn't see anything. And I didn't want to tell my dad first. So my best friend and I, we went downstairs, we went to the carnival. And when my sister got back, she ended up getting back with Ben because obviously after he was done, he went back to my sister. I know this is confusing, but try to keep up. So I asked my sister if she can pretty please take me and my friend down to the pool to go swimming. So my sister came down with us and then I was like, I have to tell you something. So then I ended up showing whenever we're supposed to leave to go up to my stepdad's. So, you know, we get off the bus, walk to my house, and my stepmom was asleep because she worked night shifts. So I was able to sneak my friend through the house to my bedroom. Little did she know she was going to have to hide in the closet. So my stepmom came in and needed to borrow a pair of socks for work. And I was literally guarding the closet with my life. And she goes, get away from the closet, you're acting so suspicious, what's in there? Like for part 2, by the way, Stacy and Candace, if you see this, my bad. Okay, part 2, sorry for keeping you.
Hey, it's me.
Star, circle, triangle.
Honey, did you just get shapes over your head?
Yep.
You were chosen to play the memory game. You have to memorize those shapes in order, or else you'll lose your memory forever.
It disappeared.
Your time to memorize is up. You have to guess.
But I don't remember.
Just try your best.
Star, circle, triangle. I got it.
Jenny, how's my best friend today?
That's mad. That's literally immorally, that is wrong. And that is very dangerous. And he was like, I feel sick. This whole time I've been doing things with this young girl. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he's on the phone panicking, yeah? I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God. And he was then, well, how old are you? I said, I'm already 19. I'm turning 20 this year because I was. Story time about when my best friend literally lied about her whole entire...
And she was like, yeah, that's her. I can't find her. Will you please help me look for her? And I didn't have the time for this because my parents were going to wring my neck, but I said, okay. Part 3 about how I was almost kidnapped at a grocery store. So like I said, she asked me to help look for her daughter, and I was like, I'm going to go tell a Target employee. And she was like, no, don't worry. They're all already looking. They have security all over the place. And she was like, will you help me check the parking lot because I don't know if she left. She was like, I've been having them look for the past 10 minutes. So I didn't think anything of this because I didn't think that scene. And after the mother and father were taken to the hospital for immediate trauma therapy, since the exhibit opened in 2006, USDA had conducted over 35 inspections on that exhibit. And none of those times did they decide that it was unsafe. And this situation happened in 2012. Parents decided to sue the zoo in May of 2013. In court, the mother had argued that the zoo had failed miserably to prevent the attack. And this is what the zoo said. This was caused because of the mother's negligence and carelessness.
Everyone is gonna die and no one is gonna remember you, so fuck it.
We figured out that we lived like so close to each other, like literally like 10 minutes. So we were like, oh my God, like let's hang out. Like that's so fun. This was like literally like the first time hanging out. Like we went to the mall and we were so excited. Like I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, like I have a new friend. Like this is so fun. So I was like, let me show her my skills. Obviously I didn't have any skills. So we were like going around the mall. We were having fun. Like we were just like, we like got food. We were shopping, blah, 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 blah. So we go into Sephora.
And she's like, ma'am, this is your kid. So my boyfriend started screaming. And he broke up with me after that. Like, how rude to just leave me with a kid by myself. No, I'm just joking. I know that was pretty fucked. Story time about one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me in high school. So a little background information. I was in my freshman year of high school. Well, spring break was coming up. Well, the whole year, my friend and I hadn't been to one single party. So we decided that we wanted to try and go to a party every single day of spring break, which was about to be super difficult because we had to worry about my strict-ass parents and my neighbors.
It seemed to be coming from the bathroom, and as she walked in, she saw a hairdryer plugged in and turned on in the middle of the floor. She thought it was strange, but that it was probably just one of the kids, and went back to bed. About an hour later, she was woken up again by the same sound, but this time when she went to check, it was coming from downstairs. Once again, the hairdryer was in the middle of the floor, but this time in the downstairs bathroom. As she's telling me this story, I turned to look at the closet in her bathroom, and
Don't play stupid, your grandma already told me the whole situation. And I was like, Mom, I literally burnt myself with a curling iron. And my grandma's like screaming and freaking out because I'm lying. She's like, you better tell your mother the truth right now, da 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 da. So I showed the burn to my mom. She looks at my grandma and she's like, so you're gonna tell me that's not a burn on her neck? And she was like, that's not how it looked this morning, blah, blah, blah. So I got away with it, but now my grandma literally stalks me to see if I'm doing anything wrong so she can tell my mom. Story time. Karma didn't do its job fast enough.
They trying to be. She wanted me to school. Quick question. Y'all think I went back to school? No, I didn't. At this point, he's basically giving me bullcrap excuses on why I'm not going back to school. He told me he was going to enroll me, but he never does. At this point, I'm my sister's mom, dad, babysitter, nanny, freaking maid. I asked my dad when I'm going to go back to school, and he basically tells me when he feels like it. Now, this is where the kidnappy vibes kick in. Whenever I tried to talk to my mom's side of the family, my dad would go ballistic. But remember, it started verbally. It did not start physically. My dad will constantly say,
I think I was already 19 at that time, so this was over like a couple years. Girl, seen this on Instagram, we're gonna shut it down, let's start planning the trip. You're probably thinking, Malika, this story sounds completely normal. Like, why are you're taking ages to get to the main plot? You need to watch this properly because you're gonna be shocked. I'm gonna split it into two parts. Now, like the week of the holiday, right? Her man is, everything's perfect. Everything is literally cool. All I know
would have to be God himself coming and putting his hands on me for me to calm down, or him whispering, calm down, child. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just a rage that get over me. So this rage was still going on, and the cops is like, what's going on? And I'm yelling, I'm acting crazy. Like, I recorded that, by the way, because when we went inside the downstairs, my friend met me down there when the elevator came back up and got her. She gave me my phone, and yeah, and
it's some sort of brilliant reverse psychology that's going to make you interested in them. I just went, look, you can shove that taxi right.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been at.
Okay, this one is awful. So I went on a date with this girl. It was our second date. I decided to take her to a Chinese buffet, all you can eat, because I'm overweight and I decided it'd be fun. Halfway through the date, I realized this Kung Pao chicken is really beating up the old intestines. I'm gonna absolutely poo myself if I don't go right now. How do you get out of a situation like this? I'm doing small talk.
Was in the relationship with him. That girl was still in college. She was contacting, like, we was talking through Instagram and phone number, and she was telling him what room number to go to and everything. My friend was the one that was in her room. I mean, in the room that we booked. She was the one that was in the room. Her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was just there for moral support. He was not going to get into it. Like, he was not a part of the situation. He was not one of them. So, yeah. So, when I got to the hotel,
stupid, crazy shit that happened yesterday. And why I'm home from vacation 5 freaking days early. So, basically, I'm just in my camper, minding my business, 2 feet away from the ceiling, and then all of a sudden, a lightning strike literally hits our camper. Like, it was hot and loud, really loud, and scary. Speaking of lightning, the power just went out because there's a thunderstorm happening right now. Okay, it just went out again, but basically...
that was known for starting fights comes up to me. I heard you were talking crap about me. She's yelling in my face. It was really random. People are starting to form like a circle around us. This girl was like towering over me. She was way bigger than me. I look at my friend that just invited me to a party. She's watching this happen, and I was like, you're not gonna help me? Drama starter. Let's call her Soph. Soph goes, I'll be seeing you. Let's go. That's where I'll knock your teeth out. They're expensive. Ended up just walking away. I'm texting my mom, a friend that invited me to the party. Let's call her Regina. Her house was right down the street from mine. So I'm there and I'm anxious.
Let's get ready, but let's talk about some recent school drama that's actually been getting on my nerves recently. Somebody use code names for everyone. Me, Maya, Carolyn, Jessica. Those are going to be the names. Remember the names. Everything's going good. Like, this friend group is fun to hang out with. There's absolutely no drama at the school. If you see this on your For You page, comment For You page right now because you will want to be in tune with the whole video. So then, of course, we randomly get a new kid. Never really spoke to him that day. We never really cared that there was a new kid even there.
I just flipped the switch.
Didn't want him talking to me. So this was really weird because this destroyed the theory that Leo didn't want me talking to Jake because he wanted him. More of Jake wanted me and didn't want me talking to Leo, if that makes sense. So after that trip, Jake actually stopped talking to me. And so school got out and I knew something was up, and I ended up signing up to do a theater show in my local town, and I went to audition.
My boyfriend would always beg me to let him drive my stepdad's car, and I always said no because that was like his child. Like, he had children. He could care less about them. His car was more important. Anyway, so the one weekend my parents are out of town and one of my friends was throwing a graduation party. So that whole day my boyfriend was trying to talk me into taking the car, and I already knew where my stepdad hid the keys. So I just decided I wouldn't drink that night and I would just take the car. He kept asking me if he could drive, but clearly I said no because this kid literally told me that he could.
I feel so bad because, like, he wasn't supposed to come out. Like, he wasn't supposed to be seeing anybody. He's literally grounded. And when we get there, my friends started screaming because, like, I didn't see him. I just saw his car. I didn't see him. And he was literally, like, right by the window. So they were, like, screaming my name and I didn't know what was going on because I didn't see him. I'm like, what are you guys, like? He had told his parents that he was moving his car. So that's how he was, like, allowed out. But his mom heard my friends screaming. So he got caught. I mean, it's not like he went anywhere and we literally only talked for a minute. Like, I got right back.
And then apologized to his entire family and rat him out. That was like the first time they had ever met my boyfriend at the time, and kind of same with his parents. And that prevented sleepovers for a long time, even with my best friend. I feel like all my consequences were very extreme for really what happened. Talk back, phone taken, 5 minutes past curfew, cars taken. Up until my senior year, I was never allowed to go anywhere unless my parents had, like, all the proper connections, like, knew who was gonna be there, whose parents were gonna be there. I swear I would have to present, like, a 30-page PowerPoint to go anywhere, and
make that pistol pop.
Not even Moroccan. I don't even live in Qatar. I live in Dubai. But anyways, all of this is besides the point. So this girl kind of tells me a little bit about how this account has been, trying to text her boyfriend and has been texting a lot of other people in Qatar for the last few months. But this was the first I was hearing about it. Now, at the time, I think I was at 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is still a lot, but it wasn't enough for people to recognize that that's a fake account. So I think that's why no one reached out to me prior to this conversation I had. So obviously I text this girl because she's
asking me questions about her. He was asking me about myself, like what my favorite color is, what I like to eat, what I like to do in my free time. And I don't know, it just seems so weird to me, because why would he be asking me this if he was interested in my best friend? That's why I decided to ghost him for a bit, because I didn't want anything bad to happen, And she's my best friend, like I don't want to lose her for this random guy. So I ghosted him for a...
After we told the principal, her dad was at the bus stop. And he comes up to us, taps us both on the shoulder, and says, "If you guys ever bully my daughter again, I will hold you down while me, her, and her sister beat the shit out of you guys." So we got to the school that day and we called our dad. We told him what happened, but he was kind of questioning it. Until our neighbor actually walked up to our house and knocked on the door and told my dad. And I guess at the bus stop, everybody
Nasty names, and you can probably guess them. And somebody got a picture of me dancing with one of the boys. And Carson sent it to me and said, "We're done." So after that, I just ignored him. And then literally that night at 1 a.m., he was texting me saying, "I miss you. Please come back to me," like for part 3. Part 3 about how my ex-boyfriend accused me of cheating on him on an all-girls trip. So like I said, I received over 100 messages from him. He got a picture of me dancing with one of the boys and said, "We're done." And then at 1 in the morning, he's like, "I miss you so much."
You know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad.
Like, why isn't that a staple at this point?
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on.
Okay, so my two best friends from high school, they found out that I'm a lesbian and they were just not okay with it at all. So they were like, there's no way that you can be, like, let us just set you up on a date with a guy. You just haven't met the right guy yet. And for whatever reason, I was like, okay, fine. So I went out on a date with this guy, knowing full well that I'm a flaming homosexual. And he was just not a nice person to even just have a conversation with. And we were talking about our families and getting to know each other. And I brought up the fact that my dad...
It was because he was waiting for his mom to text my phone. So then he had to go to the bathroom and he asked to take my phone with him. And I said no because that's weird as fuck. So while he's in the bathroom, I get a text from a random number. And it's a bunch of videos that my boyfriend took of him doing the nasty with other girls. And there were like 15 videos, all different girls. So by this time he's been in the bathroom for like 15 minutes. So I go to confront him while he's in the bathroom, like I do not care at this point. And he's gone. My bathroom window is...
And this guy, the police officer, literally said, okay, will you, what's your mom's number and your dad's number? And I was like, I don't know my dad's, but I can give you my mom's. And then, so I gave him my mom's number, and then he asked for her email, so then I gave it to her. Or I gave my mom's number to him. And he was like, he handed me a card, and he was like, will you have your mom call me when she has a chance? And then I was like, yeah, sure. So then once he left, I ran upstairs.
Back in my friend's car. I just wanted to see him because I'm down bad. But guys, he's still grounded. But on his break, he's gonna come and pull up. So I'm seeing him today, but I don't want to really do like a full face of makeup. So I'm just doing concealer and mascara. And I already know the Bob comments are coming. But he's so cute. I literally think he's so cute. I don't even know if he's gonna be able to come in because my dad's not home, so I might just have to sit in the car. And he has like an hour-long break, so he can be here
like this, which I know is like the absolute number one thing you should not do when you have acne, but when you are so insecure about it, you're kind of just very focused on, it's just always there, like it's always on your mind. So I'm just sitting there, I'm kind of touching it, and I just kind of go, my acne makes me feel so ugly sometimes. And this boy has the audacity to say, yeah, well, it is ugly. For the remainder of the movie, I literally laid there and I kept my hand over my phone.
So much, we love you. Sponsor us.
But anyways, we're graduated and we're out of that mug. Okay, and also, the diploma that we got has nothing on it. So we got a
4 years!
For 12 years. But it's fine. It has everything inside of it that we need.
And also, we're not complaining,
We had a good high school experience. But the school just needs some work.
Senior year was interesting, but
oh, that's another story.
With bubble gum, so I had to chew it.
Taste me how to duck. Taste me how to duck.
Girl matching at winter formal on the other girl's Instagram, but that's too basic. But I stayed. Let's bring it back to the first 2 weeks of us talking. He basically told me that him and his ex bonded over cancer because he had fought cancer when he was younger. And that she would always have to be in his life because she was there for him through that time in his life. When he told me this, I was so stuck on like, you battled cancer, like tell me more, like I didn't know.
Friend. So a little background information. I had a very close guy friend who we're gonna call Max. Now, Max was 2 years older than me, but due to our families being super close, him and I became best friends. Growing up, I saw him as kind of an older brother. And then eventually as we grew up, I saw him as my best friend. Until I realized that he was actually a terrible person. And I missed all of the signs that he was not a real friend. Like one, our first fight, I told him something that I didn't want anybody else knowing. And what do you know, right after I tell him, my family knows, his family knows, my crush knows, all of our friends know.
POVs, they were not popular. Like, POVs did not become popular until 2020. And like I said, I started doing POVs in 2019. Basically, for those of you who don't know, my POVs were comedy skits. Basically, like, POV, you sit with the pick-me girl. POV, you sit next to the hey Dylan girl. Like, if you guys know, you know. They were very specific, and nobody was really doing POVs at the time I started doing POVs. Like, a very few amount of people were doing them. So fast forward
She got mad at me. She was like, I need to stop arguing and stuff. And she tried to blame me and make it sound like it was my fault. And I was like, girl, you don't even know what happened. Why are you trying to get on me for? And then she was like, you're right, I don't know what happened. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you don't know what happened. I was like, what do you mean? it happened to me. I was literally right there. Why would I not know what happened? And she tried to get all smart with me and go back and forth with me. And she made me go to the office. And while we were walking to the office, I was like, why aren't my friends coming too?
And she's like, what the fuck? Like, I hate you so much. Like, why would you do this? And I look down and she has my phone right in her hand on the text messages with Jay. And I ended up feeling really bad because she started crying, saying that, like, I knew that she liked him a lot. And I also knew the reason why he wasn't texting her as much. Well, then she ran downstairs and she told her mom. And the next thing I know, I had her mom, and her 3 other sisters screaming at me. And then I got blocked by information. This all happened whenever I was in 9th grade. I saw Gia sitting at this lunch table alone, and I invited her to come sit with my friends and I. And after talking to her, I found out that she was a new student and she didn't have any friends. So her and I started hanging out and we became really close. Like, she would come over my house 24/7. While my older sister was a grade above us, and she would act really weird around her. And by weird, I mean, like, she would always make fun of me in front of my sister. And weirdly enough, try to cause problems between us.